All right, Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're going to start out with this thing. So it's kind of based on an A minor 7. You're going open A to the 2 on the D string, to the open and 1 on the B string, and letting those all ring out. So you got to have your fingers real tall so you don't block any strings, because you want to let every one of these things sustain. See, my finger right there kind of hit that string a little bit, so you got to be careful of that. Now we're going to go to kind of based off an F shape thing. So that's big 1 and 3, like an F power chord. And then to the G string, open and 2. Okay, so on this one too, you got to keep them real tall so you can keep everything holding on and sustaining. So we're going to have 4 times of that for the intro and then 2 times for the verse. So let's say we're on the verse now. Now we're going to get into the change. We're going to a C chord here. 3 and then 5. That's on the A and D strings. And we got that bar down here. We're going down to the 2nd string, 5th fret, back to the 4th string, 5th fret. So 3, 5, 5, 5. Then we're going to a G and doing the same thing. Top 2 and then skip 1 down to the 3rd string and back to that 5th string. So 3, 5, 4, 5. And then we're taking that same kind of shape down to the F. We're doing that same skip a string thing. So 1, 3, skip to this G string, 2, back to the 3. Now here we have a D minor, so we have a D bass, and then sometimes they hit different notes on these. Sometimes it's just hit the D and then hit the D minor chord. First time it seems like it's maybe they go to that 3 right there in the 2nd string. One of the later times it seems like they might hit a 2 on the way up. So you can kind of mix that up or just sort of hit the D and then the D minor. So from that change again, we got... Let that D minor ring out, and then you're back to the intro. So let me count that in. 3 and 4 and... So we'll do like 2, setting up the verse again. And you can kind of, wiggle your guitar a little bit to make them all get a slight vibrato. Okay, so put a little vibrato on that, make it sound cool. Then we got that change again. Okay, back to your D minor there at the end of that. And now we're gonna have a pre-chorus. This is A minor chord. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. So it's 1 and a 2 and E and 4 and a 1 and a 2 and E and 4 and a. Okay, then we're gonna go to this F major 7 with a C bass. So I got 3 on the A string, 3, 3, 2, 1, and open on the bottom there, muting the big E string. So once again, we got. Actually do that 6 times. So let's count that in and we'll do the last 4 together. 3 and 4 and... Okay, now sometimes on that last 4th beat there, you might go 4E Anna to kind of like pick it up, make it a little more strummy there at the end. So that would be like... 4E Anna. Okay, then we're gonna get to the chorus. We're gonna have... So it's C chords, like 1 Anna, 2 Anna, 3, 4 to the G. D minor, A minor, C, G, the and of the 4, we're going to do an upstroke and hit that D minor there. So that last measure is C, G, D minor there. So once again, the chorus, we got 3, 4. D minor, A minor, C to G. Up on the D minor, hold that, back into the intro. Intros there again, and we do another verse. I guess it's like a setup to a verse more than an intro at this point, right? So we got 2 more verses, we got another change. And then we got that pre-chorus strumming with the A minor to the F major 7. End up doing 6 of those again. Now we have the chorus 2 is going to basically be the same chorus, but when we get to that D minor, we're not just going to let it ring. We're going to keep strumming it so that we can like repeat the chorus. Okay, so this would be like. So let's look at that strumming again. We got a C, G, and the C is kind of like strumming like 1 and a 2 and a G, D minor, A minor. These are more just straight. So we should go C, G, and 2 and a 3, 4. So the strumming on that is you kind of have the upbeat one that rang into the first beat. You're going to hit the and of that one. So it's like and 2 and a 3, 4. So it's and 2 and a 3. And then back to 2 strums each. That one will hold. Now we're going to be going into the solo. So the solo is real cool. So we got a 10 on the second string to a 9 on the first string, and then bending the G string, 11 up and down. Now the second one does the same thing, but you go to the 11 a little earlier. And this part is 11 on the G, 3 of those, and then a pull off to the 9, 2 11s on that D string. So we got, so that 11 kind of weighted. Now this one's earlier. So we have a little pickup notes here, and this 9 to 11, and then the new measure goes 9. So up and down, kind of slow on that 11, and then a quick 9 to 11 here on the G to D strings. So now we go back to the 10. So we got 10, 9, 12, 14. Same thing again. Now this time we go to the 14. We're going to bend it up and then go down to the 14. And then we have. So nice and slow, 17, 16, 14 on the E, 17 on the B. So that new one starts 14 on the little E, quick 17 to 14 after that. So, and then kind of a slower 17 to 14. And then you kind of hold that into the next measure slightly, so it's. And then as you hear a chord hit, you've got this unison bend thing, that's 14 on the B, 16 on the G. It's like chord, bend, chord, bend, chord, bend. And it's going to end with 17 on the B, kind of a staccato 14 there. And then we're going to switch over here to bend this 14. So we got 14, bending it down, going to the 12, 14 on the second, back to that 12. You got like a 14, 12, 10. You got like a 14, 12, 10. Listen for the timing on that. And then the last few notes are 12, 10, 9, and 10 on the second string. So we got. Okay, so obviously with any tab, kind of like look at the timing on that. The songster has it really accurate, so you can check that out too. Then we're gonna be back into an intro. A couple of those, a couple more for a verse. We got the change again. Got all that again 6 times. So we got chorus 2 again, is that longer chorus. Upbeat, we're gonna hold that D minor. Okay, so great tune, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. When I was playing with James Brown back in, this was like 2004, I think, we got to open 5 stadium shows for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They had James Brown open for them, and it was super cool. I got to meet John Frusciante, he was super nice, and we had a great time. The first thing that they did is they went out on stage, and Flea, the bass player, just took his pants and his underwear and everything, just put him right down on his shoes and just put his hands in the air like, yeah, we're back. It was pretty crazy. They're wildcats. All right, anyway, couple pages of tab on this. Hope you dig this. I'll be doing Under the Bridge coming up soon. Talk to y'all later.